So we're 3 weeks into the Iran war, and the market is still searching for a floor, and there is a ton of opportunities out there for us option sellers. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 5 stocks that I'm going to be watching this week, specifically for selling some cash secured puts on, and hopefully running the full wheel strategy on over the coming months. And of course, guys, do your own research on these stocks. These are just stocks that I'm watching for the wheel strategy this week, and I'd really appreciate you guys hitting that like button, that subscribe button. And of course, guys, I hope you're having an absolutely God-blessed day. I just turned 36, guys, today. You know what I did this morning for our 100 contract club? If you guys don't know, head over to onlypeterpru.com. You'll see the 100 contract club. And I dropped off over 200 Bibles with my 2 daughters this morning, and it was an absolutely amazing way to spend my birthday, heading into another, I'm sure, absolutely crazy week in the markets. But I want to give a big shout out because I actually got an email from another 100 contract club member. If you guys don't know, we send out these awards that you see right there to our members who hit 100 contract clubs, and we donate 40 Bibles in their name. Really, really cool mission, and my goal is to hit 1 million Bibles donated in the next 10 years. Let's get it. But guys, today, let's talk about some of the setups for this week. Listen, we all get assigned not at good times, right? We all feel it. This is part of it, though. We got to kind of lean into this, and let's kind of talk about at least what I'm watching this week. We can see, I show you guys ArkPicks all the time. Look at all of these oversold setups. Holy... It's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And, you know, we have a lot of people on ArkPicks, and I'm sure you're like, hey, well, I don't have enough collateral to deploy. But, you know, this is where it's all about staying in your lane and what you want to get into, right? About what is diversifying you the best and into good, stable companies, okay? And that's what I believe that I'm at least focusing in on, besides my normal weekly buys of the QQQ, SPY, and my Vanguard stuff, mixed in with some income ETFs as well, right? But we have a tremendous amount of oversold setups. An oversold setup meaning the RSI is under 30, and, right, people are pouring out of it. We see that, right? And we see some good names in here that are being oversold, right? And you could screenshot this if you guys want to. I don't care. I'm here to help you guys out as best I can. Just make sure you always research any stocks that you're getting into, okay? So be careful, all right? So first one we got to talk about, DG, Dollar General. Haven't traded this one for a minute, but it's on my radar now, that's for sure, after this week, right? Great earnings, weak guidance, and there's a lot of weak guidance coming out of these kind of consumer products or consumer stocks right now, and I like that. These are kind of the companies that I love to invest in, and you'll see a couple more in here throughout this week. So, you know, again, great earnings. It's the same similar story that we saw on weak guidance. What am I primarily looking at? Well, if we look at it here on the normal moving averages here, we see our 50 days at 147, 2 and 300 we're still a ways off, okay? We're trading at 131. So people are, you know, freaking out, but sometimes depending on the stock that you're getting into, they're still in a great setup if you just look at the gains that they've accomplished over the last year. So first and foremost, look at that first. Don't be so short-sighted looking at it right now, right? Markets, of course, usually go up, right? Obviously, past performance isn't an indicator of future results, but a normal pullback like this is totally okay in my opinion. It gives us more chances to get into it. But right, let's go crack into the chart right here. We could see Friday we dropped another 3% here. We are below that bottom Bollinger Band area, but again, so above these 2 and 300 day moving averages. Guys, look at this chart right here from November, the meteoric rise of Dollar General, right? So what am I watching for this? Well, I want to see, are we going to get back to that 110-ish level? I don't jump just right into selling puts, but we need to see how are we going to react when we get closer to this 2 and 300 day moving averages. If we get down to those levels, that's where I want to be selling my puts at. I want to be selling my puts around the 110 mark, okay? Just above the 300-day moving average and just below the 200-day moving averages. Looking at an options chain right here, right, we don't really have those opportunities on our cash secured puts right now. We just don't. There's no premium really to be had. Even if we go out 40 days, the 115s, which is really the closest, we're only collecting about a 1.31% return on our collateral right there. We're locking up $11,500 and we're collecting $151 of premium on that for a 1.31% return. I don't know about you, issue, that doesn't really sound that great to me, to be honest with you. So we have to be patient, right? And this is why having a good core watch list that you're eyeing daily is normal, right? Because more normal people, right, that's, sell the wheel strategy, they'll come in here, right, and they'll be like, oh, it's oversold, it's 26 on the RSI, I'm going to go sell puts on it. But guess what, right? We're still insane gains for the past few months, since literally what, end of November, right? So again, I am watching Dollar General. I love this company, but again, a little too expensive for me right now, at least in terms of where we're trading at moving averages. But I am watching it. If it continues to sell off, I would love to get into the 110 puts, and we'll see if that ends up happening this week. Okay. Next one is Lowe's. Similar, right? Similar to kind of similar to Dollar General here, right? Looking at the current price, 237, right? But take a look at this chart, right? Again, they guided weak again, but we are, which I like a little bit more, we are below all of the key moving averages, the 50, the 200, and the 300-day moving averages. Now, this is where it's like a balancing act, okay? Because when we dive, like nosedive below a 2-3, we're not super below the 300 day. I mean, it's a 240, but we don't know where the floor is yet, right? We have to see where do we stabilize. The markets right now are, it's crazy, and we're going into a crazy week with lots of data being reported. We got the Fed meeting. There's a lot of stuff happening this week that we need to be paying attention to that are going to impact us. Now, we are not full-time day traders. We are not, for the most part, if we, our strategy, you don't even have to pay attention to the news. You sell your puts on good quality companies or ETFs, close your phone, and whatever happens in a month happens. You're happy because you got your return on collateral or you got assigned, then you sell your covered calls. That's a great way to live, in my personal opinion. But, me being a little bit more involved in the day-to-day stuff, I watch these charts a lot more. I see what people are getting involved into when they post in our Facebook group or in our private group. So with a chart that's looking like this, where we have dove below the 200 and 300 day moving averages, right? I like to give it like a couple days to see where's our floor. Where do we start to kind of settle down a little bit? Home Depot also has a kind of a rough chart right now. They are also oversold, but Home Depot does wrap up even more collateral, right? Even with Lowe's, a $23,000 put for one contract, you're not playing. I don't care who you are, $23,000 on a stock. But looking at this chart, right, in an absolute nosedive situation like this is scary, right? So we have to see, hey, where do we kind of stabilize from here? Are we going to stabilize around 235-ish around, or are we going to drop back down to this 220 level or even below? So we could see the volatility or on the Bollinger Bands, like how volatile this has been really since the beginning of at the end of summer, right? We have been pinging-ponging back and forth here on lows, which is good, right? Usually stocks like this that have a nice dividend payment, I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, 2% dividend still is decent. You guys know I love my dividend payers. But that's why we're usually getting a nice return on collateral on these. Like usually these boring dividend payers don't necessarily like go on sale very often and also offer a really good premium for taking on the risk of owning the shares, right? So looking at the options chain here on Lowe's, I mentioned on many videos, I'm kind of staying away from weeklies right now because I've obviously SoFi taken a lot of assignments. That was my big, covered strangle play that I was doing. Obviously I'm assigned. I'm just sitting on my hands right now because we know how it goes, guys. The second we sell a covered call at our cost below our cost basis, the stock is going to rocket. We were having some laughs about that in my private group, right? It's like, you know what, we're all kind of sitting on our hands with SoFi assignments, and it's like the second like you let and if you don't know what I mean by that, is like you get assigned SoFi at 21, you then sell a covered call for like 20 on SoFi. Next thing you know, SoFi's at 25 next week, right? It's just like the way it is. Let me know in the comments if that's ever happened to you. I swear that literally happens all the time. But taking a look at Lowe's options chain, we do, on the cash secured puts, I would like to do the 220s personally, and it's not terrible. Like, I think a lot of people, we got very spoiled during the bull run, right? Because you're not taking assignments, you're getting 4 or 5% a month on your SoFis, when in actuality, getting like 1% a month on a good solid dividend paying company at a really key support level like the 220s on Lowe's, and you're getting a 1.25% return in about a month, that's still pretty dang good, especially if you're assigned and doing your covered calls and collecting that 2% dividend, right? So I don't know. I just for me, I've always, you guys know, I always shoot for that more 2%. Anything above that 2.5% to 3% in a monthly period is also always going to be something that I'm a little bit nervous about. Let's keep going, guys, because we have we're already almost at 10 minutes. I know I've been babbling here, but next one is UPS, hugely oversold as well. Okay, below, well, right at the 200. So we're going to see how we test that. We are literally right at our 200-day moving average, trading at 97. Currently trading right at the 200-day moving average, 97. We'll see how we are below our 300-day moving average, and obviously the 50-day moving average. You know, the big news obviously around UPS has been, you know, they cut that deal that they had with Amazon. That it was a very low margin, low profit business, and it sent the stock tanking. Okay, it was a low profit business for them. They're shutting down a bunch of operations for that. In my opinion, that's good news for the company because it's going to be a lot more profitable, even if they lost Amazon they cut Amazon as a client. I don't know, right? Like, but to me, because we're dealing with all these other geopolitical issues in the market right now, it's scary locking up such an amount of collateral, but I am looking at this one pretty heavily this week as well. I'm looking at the 90s. Again, I'm playing safe. If I'm taking assignments right now, I'm playing extra safe right now. I'm not doing very close stuff to the money. I'm looking at 20 delta, even below 20 delta stuff if I can in that 30-day period where it's like, hey, if I'm taking assignment and we're going into like a real big downturn in the market, I really want to have a good cost basis in the stock side to side. I really, really do. So looking at like the 0.20, 20% chance of assignment, 80% chance of not, I may be only collecting 1.66%, but I'm getting in at $90 maybe, because remember, when we sell that cash secured put, assume you're taking that assignment, okay? Assume you're getting that assignment. And what I really, really like, obviously, about UPS, you guys know I love my dividend payers. I love covered calls. I love dividends, collecting all that. All the income I can from these stocks, getting an almost a 7% dividend, which is absolutely amazing. One key thing here, guys, is be careful if you are going to jump into UPS. Next month, we've got April 27th. April 27th is earnings, okay? So if you're going to do some stuff here, right, be careful about doing, April 24th, you're safe. April 17th, you're safe, but then you're getting into May 1st. Be careful here, right? This is why we see elevated premium after earnings right there. So you got to be careful. I see so many people get burned. I repeat it all the time. I don't care if I'm redundant. I've seen so many people get hurt with their cash secured puts expiring right after earnings or the week of earnings, and you absolutely get smoked. Rolling's not going to save you. Then you're going to be stuck holding the bag for a little bit of time. So you got to be careful, okay? I can't stress it enough. Be careful out there. We got a couple more, guys. I want to get through it. General Mills, another big one that I'm watching. We have earnings coming up here, so I'm watching this one like a hawk as well. You guys know, love my dividend payers. Love brands like General Mills because they own a whole bunch of other brands and consumer staple products, right? Cheerios, Pillsbury, Betty Crocker, all sorts of Haagen-Dazs. They own a whole bunch of different brands and stuff. So I do like getting into those kind of companies just because I get that sense of diversification and I'm getting a nice dividend yield from it. And we are trading below pretty much all of the key moving averages here as well. And then other two crowd favorites, guys, I'm going to quickly cover them because we're already at 12 minutes and it's my birthday today. I'm going to head over to my mom's house and we're going to have a good old time drinking some Polish beers on a Sunday. It's going to be great. But we have American Airlines. I've got 950 puts. I've got 1050 puts in on this thing. I'm going to continue to sell puts on this but who knows, especially with the oil situation, you are really we are being very well compensated right now for taking on this risk. So I'm going to milk it a little bit. We're like at pandemic levels where American Airlines was, and it was one of my best plays that I made when I was during COVID was airlines and cruise ships. That was some of my best plays that I made was on those, because and I just take my logical approach. I'm like, okay, cruise ships aren't going away, and then definitely American Airlines ain't going away. Could it? Sure. Don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm taking that same exact play that I did back then with American Airlines. I will take assignments all day under 10 on American Airlines. So give me your shares. I will buy all of them. So I'm obviously with reason. I don't want to go all in on one stock, but I have no problem continuing dollar cost average into American Airlines, one of my favorite stocks of absolutely all time for running the wheel strategy. And then we also have, let me move myself. Why can't I click my tab? We also got Ford. Premiums are a little lackluster still, but we are oversold here on Ford. It has had a really nice run here recently. But premiums are still a little bit lackluster. But you guys know I love these nice dividend-paying stocks, so I will be looking at this, especially for a small amount of collateral, like $1,100,000 in collateral. The 10s are still really not giving me much premium that I'm looking for. Again, the 1050s going out 40 days are only giving me about 1.67% return. Not really worth it. I'd rather just dump that money into an American Airlines play. But let me know what setups you guys are getting into. If you want my premium calculators, guys, you want all of my trade log templates, all that good stuff, is all free. Head over to the Ark Options Workshop. It'll be the first link down below in the description of today's video. It's 90 minutes of training. Plus, I give you all of these free resources completely for free at the end of that training. So click that first link, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.